Hi, Viola Rose here, and I'm here to make a 2-month update about using the Lifewave X39 patch because I came on here and made a video on January 10th when I started, and I said I would just be doing this experiment with it because I had heard about it for a long time but never gave it much credit until my friend Peter Sterling just sat me down and told me the science behind it. And then I was super impressed and I said, okay, I'm going to try it. So I've been trying it now for 2 months. And so I wanted to come and make a follow-up video about my progress with it. So I have been using it. It's a little patch, right? If you haven't seen my first video where I explained the whole science about it and why I thought it was cool to try, I would say go watch those and I'll put a link in the description to those videos. But suffice to say, they are light technology. They're these little patches made out of a crystalline structure, out of organic material that is sort of programmed in a certain way with the crystalline structure, and the infrared light that comes off of your body is bounced off of the patch and sent back into your body with code as well that stimulates your body to make copper peptides. And those copper peptides aid in cell rejuvenation. So the kind of cells that can go anywhere in the body and rejuvenate you and do healing and beneficial things. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. And the main reason was because I had this mold situation and I had gotten exposed to mold and I couldn't clear it from my body, even though I cleared it from the house. And so for months, I was achy and inflammation in my ankles and my hands. My face was puffy. I was just in so much just kind of aches and pains all over. And then I made a video 2 weeks after starting to try the patch. And I was like, I'm like 80% better. Like my inflammation had gone down so drastically in 2 weeks that I was floored. So I decided to make a video about it. I was not expecting that level of improvement. I just didn't really think that the patches were going to be that epic. Like I just they seem cool. That I like the idea about light technology and that we can heal ourselves. I mean, I love that idea. And so these don't put anything into the body. They're just these little patches that you wear and they reflect your own infrared light that stimulates your own body's rejuvenation. So I was like, it probably is going to be subtle, and it hasn't been subtle for me at all. Some people, maybe it's more subtle, especially if you don't have something obvious that you're working on. Anyway, so after 2 weeks, I was floored and super impressed. And at this point, now at 2 months, I want to report that my aches and inflammation are 100% gone. And I still feel like a completely different person. I reported this at the 2 week part that like I was going ecstatic dance all of a sudden and bouncing around the house and sleeping really good and having all this energy and my mood being better. Well, now that's just become sort of the norm for who I am. And I look back to who I was 2 months ago, and it's like a completely different person. And I tell you what, I don't ever want to go back to that. Like, just all the different various aches and pains that I would have, like all this like long-term neck tension problems, and I've had this issue with my wrist that I'm still it's still getting better, but I'm still like putting an extra patch on there. Like I take yesterday's patch and I put it there because here's the thing. You got to wear a new patch every day because the patches are built out of salt, sugars, amino acids, like into this crystalline structure. And they're in a neutral place when you get them in the mail. But then when you put them on, they activate because of the heat in your body and the infrared light. So they only last like a day or so, and then they sort of go to break down. So you do have to put on a new one each day. And I think a lot of people I've talked to, because I keep talking to people like, what's your experience been, right? As I do this experiment. And some people tell me, oh, I tried it. It didn't do that much. I'm like, did you put a new patch on every day? And they said, oh, no, I'd wear the same one for a while or I would forget to do it. And so I have not forgotten. Maybe one day I forgot actually. Or I went to bed with the patch still on. And so I just wore it the next day. But every other time I have put on a fresh new patch each day. And even just in case yesterday's patch has a little bit of juice left, I've taken yesterday's and I'm putting it on like my secondary area on my wrist instead of the back of my neck. So I've been doing it consistently, and the results have been amazing. I feel a lot younger, like it's sort of anti-aging. It's reversing as the cells that are systemic and can go everywhere are doing whatever they need to do. That it's doing things. And what I heard, because actually been so curious about this that I have gone on quite a few different Zoom calls and different trainings that they have because I want to learn about this. And there's like calls with doctors who are way into this and they tell about the science and the effects and stuff. So what I'm learning is that a person should give this a try 1 month for every decade they are old, right? So I decided I was going to give this a 6 month try. But at this point, I'm in. And like, if it means I have to be on it every day for the rest of my days, I'll do it because I feel so good and I don't want to go back to where I was feeling before. So, not that I want to be dependent on anything, but I know it's just my own system, like rejuvenating itself. It's just getting a kickstart. So maybe over time I could go down to every other day or something like that. I don't know. But for now, it feels great and it's actually not costing me any money. Granted, a month supply is $100, but I was going to see my chiropractor every 2 weeks. Like my chiropractor is very awesome. Shout out to John Folta in Cottonwood. And he is not just a regular chiropractor, but he also knows like network chiropractic and he's like a shamanic wizard. And so I would go to see him for these tune-ups every couple weeks. Uh, Physically, but also energetically, because I just have aches and whatnot everywhere. And at this point, I'm maybe going to go like every 6 weeks instead of every 2 weeks because I just don't need it. I feel so good. I have no aches and pains whatsoever anywhere that I'm now going to be starting to go see my practitioner less and less. And just that in itself is the kind of the cost of the patch. So rather than spending the money on that and not feeling good, I'm spending it on this and I feel great. So that's my report right now. Like, as you can see, I have sort of boundless amount of energy. And here's another cool thing that's happening is I am not grinding my teeth, not grinding. I would clench my jaw sometimes when I'm sleeping. I'd wake up clenching my jaw. So I have been wearing a mouth guard for a long time and I'm no longer clenching my jaw. Like it's just relieving some tensions in my system. And it's like the patch, since it's like rejuvenating your cells to go anywhere they need to do, people are having healing in all kinds of different ways. So I can't say that there's like one kind of thing that this patch does because since it's systemic, it goes wherever you need the healing. So it does all kinds of stuff, and people are sleeping better, and people are having all kinds of different healings from it. So I am super encouraged and I am going to keep using it. And they have a bunch of different patches in their system, but they're all secondary. What I've learned is this X39 patch, like this is where you start and this is the baseline patch. It's really the only one you need to do. But if you're like a connoisseur and you want to experiment, they've got, excuse me, they've got glutathione patches. They got ones to help you sleep. They got ones to take the X49 in case you're like an athlete and for recovery and endurance. They have all kinds of different ones. I don't even know what they all are, but for now, I'm just going to stick with these and keep going with it and see because I've been hearing that some people are having drastic effects after 6 months, after a year. And it's important to track your progress, right? They have this health tracker and you can just write down your details and so that you can notice as time goes on what's happening because sometimes we don't notice. When we start to feel better, we kind of just forget about it and don't notice, oh yeah, that's right. I'm sleeping a lot better. I'm doing all these things a lot better. So you do the health tracker and then you see how it goes. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I've only shared about this. I made two videos, right? The first day and then in 2 weeks. And then I made one post just that I was feeling really good. So I haven't talked about it like too much on social media, just those three posts. But I just went through those posts and just see if there's anything interesting comment wise to share with you. So I'm going to share my screen right now and just share with you a couple of comments that I've gotten from from people on the thing on the posts, like friends of mine who say that the patch it has done wonders for me. I've been on it for 2 years. My migraines and severe body pain has diminished. It was a life changer for me when I first started to use a patch every day. Now I only use one every 2 or 3 days. That's so cool to know. It'd be cool to eventually be able to use it a little less because I don't want, you don't want to be dependent on much of anything. I've got a bunch of friends trying it right now. So, and having good results. And let's see, here's another one. This is a friend of mine this is when she was on day 3. And this is really interesting. What she says, I have to say that I'm already noticing significant improvements in my energy and mood. I have an aura ring which I love, which tracks a ton of biometrics. And my numbers have been through the roof since I started LifeWave. I'm getting a ton more deep sleep and waking up more energized than I ever have before. I feel amazing, but for me, the proof is in the data. I love this technology already. So that is super cool. And here's one about a friend who used it a couple years ago and doesn't anymore, but the problem went away. So she's adding in for the LifeWave patches. For the first time ever, I had reflexes. Before the patches, most of my life, things would hit the ground and break because my quick action didn't kick in. I still have the quick responses and unconsciously catch things before they fall, even though I ran out of patches and didn't order several years ago. So that's super encouraging. I have one more to share, and this came in as a text, so I took a screenshot of it to save here. Um, it's a little long and wordy, but it's actually phenomenal. And this is from an older man who I believe is in his 70s or is about 80, a friend of mine. I just left his name out since he didn't post it publicly. The inocular high pressure in a normal human range is from 10 to 21. If a person is diagnosed with this pressure on the high side, they have glaucoma. I was diagnosed with this about 30 years ago, and I have been taking eye drops to reduce the high pressure ever since a couple of months ago. My pressure was 26, and my doctor performed a procedure using a laser to open the drainage canal, and the pressure dropped to 22. The doctor was not really happy with this, so he changed one of the eye drops and the pressure dropped to 18 in one eye and 19 in the other, which is still on the high range. On February 1st of this year, I began using the LifeWave patch. Today, 30 days later, the doctor took the pressure again, and it was amazingly 14 in both eyes. The doctor took the pressure again to be sure, and when I asked him how this could be, he had no explanation other than he felt the planets might be in alignment. I know otherwise and believe the LifeWave patch was responsible and is healing my body. It is absolutely wonderful. So, those are just personal people that I know who are commenting. They're not selling anything, they're just reporting back to me on their results. So, rather than share like just random public stuff, I thought I'd share with you the reports that are coming in as I do this experiment, and others are being encouraged to also try the experiment. So, if you want to try it, I'll put my link to try the patches in the comments. And if you want to talk to me about it, I'm learning a lot. So I can share with you more information about how to use it or anything that you might want to ask or invite you to a call where doctors are talking about it and people are sharing their testimonials. And if you sign up, if you just buy the patch, it's $150 a month. But you can also sign up as a preferred customer on and it's $100 a month, or you could become a brand partner and get your packets for $99 a month or even less because they have bulk deals. If you buy like 3 or 6, you get them for even less. And then you can refer other people to it. And then we can share the abundance and the healing magic. So I'm a fan. And I didn't know I'd be that person. I didn't necessarily even want to be that person, but I am and I love it. So I'm going to keep going. And at this point, maybe a couple more months, I'll make another video and report further. And so I love the idea that we can heal ourselves and something, but we get so bombarded, with so much tech and so much pollutants and so much energetic EMFs and all kinds of things that diminish our natural high frequency, that if something can come along that is just a "Psst, hey, get in gear," like kickstart reminder like this, that is having my body do it itself, but it's just kind of reminding me to do that, then I'm all in. So there's my LifeWave report for today. And so much love to you all. Bye.